O'Neill channel, plenty of Manchester United news to get into today, including the main talking points on Jadon Sancho, Jarrad Branthwaite, Amrabat, Scott McTominay, plus lots more. So get involved in the chat, everyone. Your first thoughts on this news on Jadon Sancho?
Well, I woke up this morning and I thought, Jadon Sancho, PSG or Paris Saint-Germain. Clearly, Man United are in talks over the Ugarte, shall I say, transfer. So, really, is there a conversation going on? I would expect so. United there saying these players, everyone, if you put a bid in, they're up for sale. So the speculation is he going to go? Is the conversations going on? I do believe that conversations would have gone on about players like Jadon Sancho with possible transfers. Is he talking to PSG at this moment? I very much doubt it.
Yeah, you say you very much doubt it. I do too, because it did say in a report, what I'm going to get up in a second from L'Equipe, that they've been talking to him for several days about a contract. And you'd expect, really, let's face it, Fabrizio Romano or David Ornstein to pick up on this if they've been talking to him for 7 days, surely.
Yeah, well, if you look at Fabrizio Romano and Ornstein, they've been coming out, they've been spot on, and everything seems to be right, what they say. They're not saying anything. The reports what come out, I think it's a lowly French reporter what's come out, not got many following. So, you know, you have to take this with a pinch of salt. Does he want to go? Of course he wants to go. He's got back to United, Jadon Sancho, and just said, get me out of here. Like I say, he's not apologised. I did mention it last week about Jadon Sancho. The conversations are going on. It's all amicable. They know exactly where they stand, Man United. Okay? There's no apology. He's getting out, he's training, he's going to have a few games, and then he's in the shop window. That's what I look at it. Would he want to go to France? I think the French football would suit him, to be honest with you. But would Paris Saint-Germain really want Jadon Sancho? I don't think so. I think this is a story what will run for a day or two and then just go out the window. But he wants out, that's without a doubt.
Yeah, they might want a replacement for Mbappe, but you wouldn't say this on the same level in terms of football ability in like-for-like replacement. But obviously we're talking, like you said earlier on, about Ugarte coming to Manchester United, and it might help the negotiations move along a bit quicker if Jadon Sancho is thrown in the mix.
Yeah, it clearly helps. Like I say, the name, Sancho's name would have come up because they would have told PSG he's up for sale. We will take offers for him if you're willing to negotiate.
Mike's just gone off, I think, on my dad Tony's mic. So what I will do, instead of stopping the stream within 5 minutes, I will actually use this mic so you can actually hear what he's going to say. That's twice now in 2 streams that we've had mic issues. The last time the actual program failed, and it looks like we've got a dodgy mic what's not actually charging up, because that's had a good 24 hours. But we were on Jadon Sancho. I think we finished what we needed to say in him, but keep getting your opinions in. So we're going to move on to Antony. And yeah, Erik ten Hag has spoken about Antony over the last couple of days, and he's convinced that Antony can still thrive at United despite disappointing season for Antony. But what's your overall thoughts on Antony and what ten Hag's had to say?
I look at Antony and I say to myself, he has to stay here this year. Hopefully he can turn it round. If you look, we've just mentioned Jadon Sancho, and at the end of the day, Jadon Sancho was given every chance. He was looked after. It's not gone well. We all know that it's not gone well for Antony. There is many problems there. So I think this year he'll stay. I'm not buying that United are looking to put him out on loan. Just not buying it at all. I think Antony deserves another chance. He's come in. The price tag is obviously weighing on him. He needs to adapt. He needs to change his attitude on the pitch. So at the end of the day, I can't see him going out on loan. And I think he deserves a chance. There is something in him. Unfortunately, we've not been seeing it.
Yeah, he did talk about his potential as well at Manchester United, but let's face it, you can count on one hand how many games Antony's actually played where you come away and think, yeah, he's had a good game today. So he definitely needs to improve. Obviously, a big shout around Ahmad after that performance against Rangers, which we have to take into context as well. That was just a pre-season friendly, but I think we both agree where we say Ahmad must start the season on that right-hand side and been given at least 3 or 4 games in a row to see if he can cement a place.
Well, there's 2 things there. Potential, you talk about Antony. At the end of the day, Ten Hag knows him, he knows what he's capable of, and he's not shown it. So going forward, it's all about potential. And I think 1 year to turn it round. You talk about Ahmad. Ahmad, every time I've seen him, I think he's improved every time. Yes, and it was a friendly, but you can see he's got it in him. So there is a challenge on for Antony. There is a challenge on for Ahmad, and that's how I look at it. Antony's staying, and Ahmad just might force him out, but it also might force Antony to up his game.
Moving on to Sofian Amrabat, and Man United are definitely not going to be doing a deal for 20 million euro for Sofian Amrabat, and it may be looking like they might still go in for the deal, but at least at a lower cost for the transfer fee. Or do you think United have just washed their hands with that and walked away?
No, I don't think United have washed their hands of it. The comment, what come out, the headline, is that they're not paying that price. They've not turned around and said they don't want him. I think, and as I did say it last week, I do think United are waiting until the end of the transfer to see if Fiorentina, see if they can bring the price down. I think he'll be a good asset. An addition to the squad, Amrabat. You have to look at the transfers we've got in now and the possible transfers what are coming in. Will the squad be big enough, especially when you look at the players what needs shifting out? So it's down to the price, but United have not gone away. I think they will be there right at the end of the transfer window and just see if they can tempt Fiorentina with half the price what's being offered.
Do you think we should, though? Considering, again, talking about Antony, you can count on one hand how many good games he had last season. I think it's the same with Sofian Amrabat. I mentioned the other day, I could count 4 games in the whole season where he played well. And yeah, he did play in certain positions where he had to fill in at left back, etc. But really, should we not try and give one of the youngsters a chance, try and promote them, or just look elsewhere in the transfer market?
I think United are looking at it from a price-wise. If they get the price down half price, they've got a good asset to the squad, nice and cheap, someone who knows what football's about. We've seen that he's got it. It's just had an indifferent Man United period. We know he was played in the wrong places. We know he was injured. So at the end of the day, if it's cheap enough, then why not add him? That's how I look at it. It's not going to be a big problem, his wages. And if it's 6-7 million they get him for, I mean, at the end of the day, that's peanuts, to be honest, in the Premier League.
Do you see him as an actual squad player, though, if they do get a deal, though, for Amrabat, or do you see him as starting in the actual 11?
If United get the right transfers in, okay, then I see him as a squad player, not as a starter. If he was a starter, they'd have already snapped him up. They see him as a solid professional, good at his job, and a good addition to the squad. That's how I think United see it, and I definitely see it that way.
Going on to another midfielder then, who definitely divides opinion, and that's Scott McTominay. And he's given a bit of a glowing report, to be fair, Ten Hag on McTominay, and basically saying that Manchester United want to keep him. But what's your thoughts on McTominay overall?
I've always thought that United should keep him. I think he's a good squad player, and he talks glowingly of McTominay. Listen, he's brought McTominay on there, and he's won us games. He's scored goals. He's done well in defensively. So it's somebody who Erik Ten Hag sees as someone who we can rely on to bring on. And you've got to go back to the game, what we're watching. We're watching where 5 substitutes can be used. And it's changed the game completely. And substitutes are a vital part. And if Scott McTominay is on the bench and he comes on, he does the business. That's how I see it. And if Scott McTominay starts a game, then part of the game is the substitutes. He does a solid job and then take him off. Or if he's floundering, then take him off. And being a substitute is not an embarrassment for these footballers anymore because they're getting good game time. And Scott McTominay, I think, will get good game time under Erik Ten Hag. And he trusts him.
We've talked with McTominay there. I do agree with certain points. I think he's definitely, gives you a plan B coming off the bench in the last 20 minutes, offers you something different. But with the likes of McTominay, and if we was to get a deal done for Amrabat, do you think that's suitable enough for squad depth in terms of quality in where we need to be, especially in them Champions League places come this season and at the end of it?
No, I think we've got to add. Definitely got to add. This squad's not strong enough, right, to go to the end of the season to be able to challenge for everything what we're going to be up against. To domestic cups, the Europa League, and the Premier League. It's tough, we know that. And we've seen the injuries last year, so you don't know what's happening. You have to have a strong squad, and I clearly do not see that we've got a strong squad to compete at this moment in time. And in a couple of weeks, it just might all change round.
Neil Crow, cheers for Super Chat, mate. He says, we need Ugarte and a deep line playmaker as well.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. You know, if you look round, everyone needs a backup. We need first team players. We need someone behind there. The squad's weak, to be honest with you. So I just look at it and I think to myself, you know, look, 2 fullbacks, definitely need them. We need another centre half, and we can go on. And I think this conversation about does it need strengthening and all that, every squad needs strengthening, and you can't stop strengthening it. And it's all about money, really. Have we got it? Are we able to do it? And it goes back to what I keep saying. In a couple of weeks' time, we'll all know.
Yeah, Paul Johnson, you keep saying he's only had 4 good games, but he's only been played in his preferred position. He bullied City in the final, and that's what we want. And he's talking about Sophie and Amrabat. But I just think that 4 games, when you can count them on one hand, me personally, isn't good to what the standard needs to be at Manchester United and where we need to finish in that Premier League. He has had more games than 4 games. Let's not forget ourselves or kid ourselves. But there's only, for me, like I say, personally, 4 that actually stand out. And if you're talking around about £20 million, I think it's great business that Manchester United aren't doing that deal. And you've also got to look at it from another point of view as well. This deal was structured under Richard Arnold and John Murtough. We've got a new CEO in now. We've got new lads in behind the scenes like Jason Wilcox, Dan Ashworth, etc. And they clearly don't see value in that deal. And you never know if them themselves don't fancy Sophie and Amrabat. The manager might do, but them themselves might see, you know, better potential somewhere else in a player to get in.
I think what it is, it's just purely down to the money for the quality of player. I think that's what it is. To add someone to the squad who'll probably be on the bench and paying that amount of money, what the deal was structured, like you say, under Richard Arnold. They see it as too expensive for what he's going to be used at. Clearly, Erik ten Hag is understanding this is what he's going to be used at, and he's accepting, yes, it might be too dear, and United, quite rightly, are just hanging on and then hopefully force Fiorentina's hand. But for Amrabat, yeah, it's good to have different opinions about him, really, and that's what it's about.
Yeah, Akash K, cheers for Super Chat. Ugarte transfer fee makes Man United walk away. Rio's please, I think you said at the end of that. But yeah, there's been different rumours, haven't there, about Ugarte, whether it's going to be a loan with an obligation to buy, similar to what the deal was with Amrabat. But I think PSG will want the money, especially when they're going in for the likes of Neves and Osimhen as well from Napoli. So they'll need to recoup some cash in near enough straight away.
I think when you look at the initial fee, what was reported, what was going to be paid by United, 51 million, and it's suddenly risen to 59 million. I think that's a problem. There's your tax again, and we all know Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos are just not paying that tax. So this deal might just go down the pan, to be honest with you, based on not being had over. I think Ineos want to show everyone we're not going to be had over, regardless of whether we need a player. Listen, they've got many targets. They've done the business. They've done the due diligence on lots of midfield players, lots of centre-halves, lots of forwards. So there's options out there. So if it goes pear-shaped, I wouldn't really worry. I think United will be able to go straight in on somebody else.
Yeah, Akash, I think when I read it out, Rios, I thought you actually meant someone like Rio Ferdinand, but I think you mean the player, Rios, the Brazilian. Hopefully I'm right with that, my mate. Cheers for Super Chat. But moving on to Branthwaite, and reports coming out from Romano that Everton are preparing a new deal for him. So what do you think, Ed? Will we see a third bid go in for Manchester United?
I don't think so. The intention is for Everton to keep him. They're offering Branthwaite a new contract. So I think over the next couple of days, that'll be sealed. No, United haven't gone away. Everton haven't gone away. They've just told United, pay the price we're asking or just don't bother. And United have said, yeah, we like Branthwaite. It's funny, really, what's going on. It's a games of brinkmanship. Are United willing to pay 60 million? Is that good enough for Everton? Well, Everton are just sort of saying to Branthwaite now, here's a new contract, sign that, and United, ta-ra.
Yeah, anything more on Branthwaite, what you'd like to say? Do you still think he'd be good enough to come in at Manchester United and perform under the pressure, the size of the club, etc.?
I think he'd perform. There's no two ways about it. You've seen what he did for Everton there in a dog of war competition, really relegation battle. And then if you look at De Ligt, either one of them, but I think De Ligt we might get him over the line. But Branthwaite, Everton digging their heels in. But hey, you can't blame them, can you?
We still need a left back though. I think. I don't know about you out there. If you're looking at Luke Shaw over the years, the average games, it turns out, in Malacia, where's he going to be up to with his fitness? Will he be able to start even the season? Will we see him at any point in the season? So it does look a bit bare down that left-hand side, and especially on the right-hand side, if Wan-Bissaka leaves to join West Ham, with reports mentioning a £17 million fee.
I think United have got to get the move on, start talking to full-backs, start getting them in, and I think it just boils down to United acting soon as the green light's been lit for Wan-Bissaka departing, because there's a strong indication that he's going, and like you say, he walks out at the end of next year. So I think United will try to recoup some money on him, and once they know that's happening, then they'll go out there and go get some defenders. They're well prepared, so I've no worries about bringing people in. I think they're just waiting for the green light.
Yeah, your personal opinion though, do you think that fee, what's being muted, of 70 to 75 million for Branthwaite, is too high to pay for a lad who's had really one good season, or a great season, however you want to look at it, in the Premier League last season? It's
outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. When you look at the kid, how old he is, the amount of games he's had. No, this kid can develop. And when you look at what's out there, and you're thinking 70, 75 million, it's not on. And if United buckle, then it'd be bang out of order, to be honest with you. But I can't see United buckling. United days of being had over are gone, as far as I'm concerned, and quite rightly.
When you're looking at Euro, who we've got in, made his debut against Rangers, and you're looking at the fee they want for Branthwaite, do you think we've got a good deal then for Euro in what we actually paid for him, when you include his age and the potential that he's got?
What I like about Euro, he just got off a plane, went up to Scotland, put in a performance, looked cool, looked as though he wanted the ball, and I was happy with that. It's potential. He's well respected. Two teams, PSG, Real Madrid going for him, then he's got something. And I don't have to start talking about scouting this and scouting that and how reports have gone in and that. When PSG and Real Madrid are looking at you, then at the end of the day, you should have no worries about it. And he proved that confidence on the pitch at Rangers. Even though it was a friendly, you can't really sort of nail your hat on that he's going to do it. But all the signs are good.
To be honest with you, when I'm talking about the left-back position with Luke Shaw and Malacia, it might be a good idea to actually go and sign Sophie and Amrabat and put him in at left back when needed, because he actually might be needed. Because can you really see, and on our sat here now, being honest, that we'll go through the whole Premier League season with the amount of competitions we'll be in, and we'll have two fully fit left backs throughout that season? I'm doubting it.
It's a big doubt in all the positions when you've seen what happened last year. But it has to get a proper left back. I'm sick to death of players playing out of position, okay, because of injuries or whatever goes on. You can't have that. You've got to have a big squad.
Branthwaite can play left back though, can't he? I'm not too sure. Let me know if you've watched him more than I do. I'm sure a lot of yous out there have got a wider knowledge, but I'm pretty sure I've seen him play left back for Everton in one or two games. So, there's possibilities there. But anything more to add? What you've seen over the transfer news? Anything to discuss?
No, I'm fine with the way it is. I think over the next couple of days, United preparing to go to America, things will be sorted. When you talk about transfers, it'll be interesting to see about transfers if any players are left behind. So that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, you'd expect some deals to start getting ready near enough over the line then this week. With them going on that tour, there will be some players, maybe the younger ones especially, who'll be told they won't be going on the tour to stay at home and maybe sort out some loan deals for next season. And maybe we might see one or two of the first teamers maybe stay and try and sort some deals out as well.
Hope so.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank everyone for joining us today. As you can see, we've only got one mic. One of them failed. No doubt I'll get smacked with it later on when the camera goes off. Start getting it put over my head.
Well, it's someone's blame and we've not worked out whose fault it is.
Who are you squaring up to? But But yeah, I'd just like to thank everyone for sticking with us throughout the stream. Hopefully we've got through everything that we needed to get involved in the chat. Just smash that like button as well. Yeah, hand-eye coordination, trying to get through everything with one mic. So it'd be much appreciated if you hit the like button. And we'll be back tomorrow with another Man United news roundup, unless there's some breaking news later on this evening. So you enjoy the rest of your day, everyone, and much appreciated for joining us. See you again soon. Thank you.